There are 7 new cases of COVID-19 in Quebec. That brings the total up to 24, with 3 people in hospital. The Premier is warning seniors to avoid leaving their homes. Raquel Fletcher has the latest.
I would like today to ask all Quebecers over 70 years old, so all elders, to stay at home.
As we've known all along, seniors are most at risk when it comes to COVID-19. On Saturday, Quebec declared a public health emergency. It is now banning all visits to hospitals, care homes, and seniors' residences. The latest data from China shows the mortality rate for people under 50 is less than 1%.
But if they have over 70 years old, it's 8%, and over 80 years old, it's 15%.
The Premier is asking younger Quebecers to help out their elderly parents and neighbors and bring them groceries. The new cases in the province are all people who have traveled recently. Increased travel during the March break is the reason Quebec chose to close schools and daycares on Friday. Now it is telling kids not to visit elderly grandparents or anyone whose immune system may be compromised.
They may then transfer the virus to those people that are at risk. So that's why we're closing schools for the next 2 weeks.
The Premier is still asking people not to stockpile or hoard resources. He's reassuring Quebecers the government does not expect any shortages of food or toilet paper. He also thanked the hard work of people in the health sector, calling them our guardian angels. Raquel Fletcher, Global News, Quebec City.
Medical officials hope mitigation measures in place to stop the spread of COVID-19 will help keep the population safe. But Montreal merchants say those efforts and mounting fears of the virus are starting to hurt their businesses. As Phil Carpenter reports, business people and their employees are trying to figure out what to do.
This was downtown Montreal on a Saturday afternoon.
Completely empty. It's like a phantom city.
Many stores that are usually busy on the weekend were mostly vacant.
We passed by the New Ardennes and the Urban Outfitters, which are normally so packed, and there's nobody in there.
Merchants noticed that business began to decline as fears of the novel coronavirus mounted.
Since last week, and it's just the beginning.
But worsened since government mitigation measures were put in place following the designation of the outbreak as a pandemic.
It went down pretty drastically.
On Thursday, the City of Montreal ordered the closure of all sports and cultural centres after the provincial government said all events of 250 people or more must be cancelled. Schools are also closed. The result is fewer people going into malls and stores.
For smaller entrepreneurs, small stores, 1 stores, 2 stores, that's beginning to be a bit of a problem because it's been 2-3 weeks now that their traffic's been down.
In some cases, the drop in sales has been significant.
Our business has been affected 50%. That's definitely.
Roughly, maybe by half.
It means some owners have had to cut staff. Others are wondering about their future.
So their problem is, how do I keep my store open? How do I pay my municipal tax? How do I pay my business tax? How do I pay my rent? How do I pay the bank?
There could be hope on the horizon. Earlier in the week, the federal government announced that $10 billion will be available for businesses that are hurting as a result of the pandemic. Saturday, Quebec Premier François Legault indicated that his government is also coming up with a plan.
We will announce in the next few days measures for people, for companies, and also measures for the economy in general.
In spite of the stress, business owners say they do understand the situation, but are hoping it doesn't last much longer. For now, clients who make it downtown see an upside.
Saturdays, it takes forever to find parking. I found so many available spots. So yeah, it was a little crazy to see.
Phil Carpenter, Global News, Montreal.
All the cancellations and closures have left the streets of Montreal empty. As Olivia O'Malley explains, taxi drivers are on the front line of the economic impact.
It was not a typical Saturday morning for Elias Dabna. The taxi driver sat outside this downtown hotel for 3.5 hours, waiting to turn on his meter.
I am waiting now from 9 o'clock on this place. No pickup.
Ever since the province announced Friday that schools and daycares will close, Dabna says he hasn't picked up nearly as many clients as he's used to.
Everybody is afraid or from the virus.
Meanwhile, at the taxi stand around the corner, more drivers are experiencing the same difficulties.
C'est tous les taxis.
Lubali parked his car in what is normally a more populated area, hoping to get some business. Instead, he didn't take a single passenger for more than 5 hours.
Il n'y a personne dans la rue. Les hôtels vides, les restaurants vides, les magasins vides. Il n'y a pas de clients.
With a myriad of rotating passengers and airport pickups, some visitors say they are avoiding hailing cabs for their health.
No, we're renting a car.
Because of that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Transport Minister François Bonnardel is aware of clients' concerns. Tweeting Transport Quebec sent a number of preventative measures to taxi companies and Uber, encouraging drivers to wash their hands regularly, provide passengers with Purell, and clean taxis on a daily basis.
Comme toujours, on nettoie.
Driver Miguel Vilban says he will continue to clean 3, even 4 times a day, but says the situation won't change until people change their thoughts on the virus.
C'est un virus. C'est un virus qui donne des paniques un peu aussi, mais il ne faut pas paniquer.
Uber has also no signs of stopping service. In a statement to Global News, the company says they are constantly working to keep Uber users safe, adding they will remain in close contact with local health authorities as this situation develops. Until instructed otherwise, drivers say they are still going to take passengers, hoping to keep driving with their light off during this turbulent time. Olivia O'Malley, Global News, Montreal.